First Presbyterian Church was founded in 1818. A group of people bought a piece of land in the highest point in the Shoals so that they might be a beacon to the community.
In the beginning, the church was merely a log structure. By 1824, our present sanctuary was being built.
The First Presbyterian Church opened their doors to the community because they wanted to be a place that was about growing a community, about sharing God and God's vision and hope with others.
This church has just been someplace I can come to, I can look to, and I can count on church members holding me up in all situations. And I love this church, and I want to see this church keep going.
Been a lot of growth and a lot of things that are very positive that I appreciate.
I just look at the difference in, like, when I first brought my family here to First Presbyterian, it was a very small little children's program, and then here we are 4 years later. She's got this little group, and it's just continuing to grow, and I want my daughter to have that church that she grows up with and has things that she can plug into. And I know that it's important to see our church grow in that way.
And that's important for us to have something where we can continue to grow with our kids.
It's a great change that we've seen, and I feel like this church, it does a really good job of just plugging people in.
It's been eye-opening. It's so much more than I ever realized.
First Presbyterian is one of my happy places. I felt empty when I did not come to church. We see it growing, and that's exciting, but we've got to keep it going.
Through all these things that we've been through COVID, through reconstruction, through demolition, and everything else we've gone through, we've persevered and we've kept going, and we've made this church into something special. And you look around at what we've got now, and it's better every day than the day before.
We have a unique opportunity to not just grow as a church, but to share an authentic faith with a community that's in desperate need of one. To change not just the lives of our members, but the lives of a community. To not just be a place where love, hope, and grace are talked about, but to be a place where love, hope, and grace is felt every day.
I think people need the message that First Presbyterian teaches. I think we need more grace, we need more acceptance, and we need more love, and we need more ministry.
This is a place we worship. This is a place we serve. And you participate and you give. That takes care about all of it. And sometimes you've got to sacrifice something to do that.
This building is a part of all of us, but it's also a part of God's plan. And we need to take care of that. Everything is coming down to what we can do for the future.
We have got to reform and redefine our space. Now is the time for us to be intentional about how we're going to use our space, how we're going to grow our ministries, how we're going to care for our members, thinking holistic about all of our families, whether it's our grandparents or our grandchildren, how we might recognize where God is moving us to live out the faith that God has given us.
The number one need is that we have a large section of our building, many thousands of square feet, that are unusable. And those square feet could be usable for something every Sunday, every night of the week.
We don't use the Elgin Annex like we used to. We used to have Sunday school down there, the choir was there, the Boy Scouts was there, the nursery was there, the bride's room was there. Everything was in over there. If you don't fix it now, it's going to get twice as much as it later on.
You know, we used to open our fellowship hall up all the time for community organizations, but we don't anymore because we don't have bathrooms for people to use.
We patch things, but we don't fix them. And to be a downtown community church and for us to provide these services to these different groups, We just need to make that a priority.
We want this church to keep going and be strong. Some things just need to be done for that to happen.
And people are excited, and we have more and more events going on. And so it just seems like the right time to try to gather resources and make that better.
These are problems that we can deal with together. They're problems that we can take care of this year. They all lead to new ministries. They all lead to better missions. They all lead to growth of our church and service for our area.
It's easy to see this time as the perfect time to move ahead with the campaign. If you don't do it when you need to, sometimes you miss that opportunity.
As we begin this capital campaign, a lot of people are going to want to know, how much is this going to cost? It's going to cost about $450,000 to tear down the Elting Wing and build back a space that is usable for us, with a choir room upstairs, along with handbells and storage and an ADA bathroom, with nice family restrooms down below for the fellowship hall and storage as well. Here in the education building, we're going to need about $160,000 to turn the library into a multi-purpose space, to have receptions for memorial services, to have large Sunday school classrooms, to redo our bathrooms upstairs and downstairs, to put in new furniture for junior high room, senior high room, for all of our children's rooms, and then turn the youth room into a multi-use room for families, for young adult education. And then to paint our fellowship hall, change out all the lights, put up a curtain, and to repave our parking lot. And then on top of that, we have about $392,000 of debt for the HVAC system. So paying that off will free up $25,000 a year for us to use for our ministry needs, like hiring a youth director or growing in other ministry ways. The first thing we all need to do as a community is just pause and enjoy this. Recognize that we are being renewed by God right here and now.
Look what we get to do. Look at this opportunity we have. And I think that members here at First Presbyterian Church should get excited too, because it's going to be awesome.
In addition to enjoying this moment, we need to make sure we're good ambassadors or good stewards of the information that is going on in this project. We have exact numbers for the debt that we have. We have a punch list for all the items that we want to take care of through the education building. And we have plans for the Elting Wing, for the demolition and rebuild. God has called us to this time and place to share our lives, to share our ministry, to live out of God's hope. We have a moment now to change the trajectory of this church through our faithful giving, through our faithful living.
We have an opportunity to do something that hasn't been done in this church in a long time. It's an opportunity that has come because of the hearts and the minds and the hands of the people that are here. And what I want to say to every single person is that it is worth the sacrifice.
After we go through a time of study, discernment, times of prayer together, we'll be asking for a commitment from all of our members. Commitments of time, commitments of faith, and commitments of generosity. And these are going to be a 3-year commitment above and beyond our pledges each and every year. We all, each family, will have to make prayerful decisions. So it's my hope that throughout this time together, we can live our faith in a way that reflects the hope that we have in God.